I'm opening the door. You can take mine off for me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up. I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Step out. Can I move my phone?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can really see the gun. Doc, was that the clip?
Yeah, that's one of the clips. The police officer has the gun drawn on him. He said he could see Terrence Crawford's firearm, but he couldn't. And Terrence Crawford's security guard actually came out and said, you know, they came up, they stopped us. We told them that we were armed. You know what I mean? I've been to Omaha, Nebraska. There's no way in the world, the city of Omaha, Nebraska, you don't know who Terrence Crawford is. It ain't a whole lot going on in Omaha, Nebraska. Like, they gotta know. So just off of who he is, you probably have an idea of your law enforcement, if he's a felon, if he's able to be a registered firearm carrier. I think they just doing a little too much. I mean, obviously, someone of that status is going to carry some sort of protection for themselves if they're riding around. So I just think that's a bad look for the police department. They gave him the key to the city hours before this. This was at his parade.
Right. Mr. Ripper, you're MAGA, and MAGA's mostly pro-police, and, you know, there's an issue with police and black men in the United States. And I've seen Tyreek Hill, you know, you've seen different celebrities get pulled over by the police. Do you feel like, you know, that black men are targeted by the police? And, you know, how is that with a black man voting Republican?
Yeah, I don't feel as if black men are. Well, first, I think that this case in particular is, I think it's a bribery gone wrong. That's what I thought. I mean, there are some crooked, extremely corrupt police officers. I mean, I've been a victim of it. But at the end of the day, when we have got to stop being so anti-police, because we look at all the numbers. I take Detroit, for example, where I'm from. The aggressiveness when it comes down to black suspects has actually went downhill or flatline. It has actually increased because people are afraid to be labeled as racist. No matter what happened, there's always type of chaotic stuff that comes up, and these people are afraid to be labeled as racist. Now, do I think black people have an issue with the police? Me personally, I just don't think so, because if we ask the average person who leans that direction, identifies as a victim, how many black people were shot unarmed by the cops over the past year? People say thousands or hundreds, but its actual number is actually 9. And we don't think about people like Tony Temple. He was a white guy who had 2 cops had their knees on his neck, and he actually died. And they was on camera making fun of him and calling him a dead fish and saying that he's sleeping. But everybody knows about George Floyd. So it's just what they put out there, what they want us to see. And it's pretty sick. But there are some extremely corrupt cops out there. And I'm not saying I'm 100% pro-police, because I know some extremely corrupt cops. What happened to Flano Castro, completely unjustified, and that person should have went to prison that cop should have went to prison for the rest of his life.
For sure. Ken, you've been very open on the podcast about everything you've been through. How you feel about police and Terrence Crawford being pulled over as on parade?
I've talked myself out of handcuffs before. I've went down the wrong way of a street, and the white cops, are you drinking? I'm like, nah. And he let me go. So I've had some favorable outcomes with police. My thing is if you're in an elevated position and you are already have a gun and it's already in your favor that this interaction could go is not in favor for me, I don't got too much route. I think black men talk too much when the police stop them. They already got a gun. Ain't no rat. You know what I'm saying? And it just for this to happen to Terrence Crawford, he has more good days than bad days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he just hit a lick for $50 million. Shit happens. And I don't think the police knew who this was, because this would be bad optics on the police, right? That cop probably only make 40,000, 50,000 the most. Based on Terrence Crawford's influence and probably who he knows with the caucus and the Chamber of Commerce there, he could get that cop fired. So I don't think that cop knew that, because that would be bad optics. At the end of the day, Terrence Crawford's class supersedes that cop's in that city. He draws more revenue. He's a walking economy. That cop can be switched out and replaced with someone else. So in terms of class, Terrence Crawford got the upper hand.
I want to show y'all this clip that went viral, and y'all tell what y'all think.
Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of Black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
What did I just watch? I don't even know what happened.
Right. Can I go? Look, during the George Floyd shit, right? I remember when a lot of the Democrats, like, they was kneeling and shit, and they was doing all that crying. I always been like, man, where the money at? I don't need none of that. Cut the check. If you feel any kind of way for anything, first of all, I'm not on that Black victim shit. But if I am, man, pay me. Let me use your credit. Be a guarantor for my business. Let's do some business. I don't need no white tears. I don't need you to relate. I don't need none of that. Where is the bread?
It's just all virtue signaling. That's all they do is virtue signaling. They gotta let the world know. Look at me. I'm a good person. I empathize with these people, but you really don't. Because at the end of the day, I actually did an experiment, and I will post a video. I'll send it to the chat, where I was actually out there with a bunch of liberal white savior complex having white people that says, "Oh, I'm here for you. You guys need to get reparation." I'm like, all right, perfect. Give me some money that you have inside your purse right now, and I would donate it to a small Black business. I would donate it to a Black organization, and I promise I would show you the receipts. Give me the money. Nice. Oh, well, I can't give you that because you fake. You a virtue signaling. That's all y'all do. Y'all not better people than most people. Y'all not. Y'all don't care nothing about the Black community because money talks. Your mouth, who cares?
Right.
Doc, what you thought of the clip?
Yo, I'm missing the best parts of the internet, bro. Like, what? Something like this is supposed to be the first thing I see when I turn on the internet. Like, yo, if somebody would have started humming a Negro spiritual in the background, this shit might have went worldwide, boy. I'm talking about, like, what in the, like, how do people even have these ideas? Like, what it came, like, what he, like, they should have cracked a whip across her back and this.
God, what if she? God, what if she would have started singing? What if she would have started singing "Lift Every Voice"?
Oh my God, boy! It would have been over with for me.
Now is the best time to take advantage of it, though. We can all take advantage of this stuff because these white liberals and every company they try to overcompensate. So here, prove it.
Like my thing is like, yo, the I get what you're trying to symbolize with the chains, but it's not the same. Like it loses like what really is going on. These guys were in cast iron chains. Like this wasn't a choice. You just barely got them on, and then you're gonna take them out, and you're like, oh my God, I could.
Like, wasn't no language with it. Wasn't no. You know what I'm saying? Sexual violations. Wasn't no slapping going on. Wasn't.
And then all of a sudden they felt how we felt for 250 years. So I feel what you feel. You ain't feeling nothing. You have some chains around your wrist. Man, get out of here. That garbage.
They should have cracked the whip across her motherfucking back one time, just one.
Right.
A little quick joint there. You know what I'm saying? There you go. All right, got the experience.
Well, we got a big famous Black mayor that he didn't resign. He called his campaign off, Eric Adams in New York City, but this is what he had to say.
I cannot continue my re-election campaign. The constant media speculation about my future and the campaign finance board's decision to withhold millions of dollars have undermined my ability to raise the funds needed for a serious campaign. I hope that over time, New Yorkers will see this city thrive under our leadership, and that policies we put in place should be continued and expanded. I hope you will see that despite the headlines and innuendo, I always put you before me, always.
Mr. Rippey, how you feel about Eric Adams suspending his campaign?
Well, he don't have the funny, but my question is, why don't he have the funny? When he first ran for mayor, then he had all the funny, had everyone backing him. I mean, you get these calls from Diddy. I'm not even in New York. Calls from Diddy and Jay-Z's automatic calls. We have to support this person, this person, this person. So money was behind him. That's the reason why I got to get money out of politics. And I think he's just a fraud, just like the rest of them, just like Gavin Newsom, because he has pretend as if he was more neutral over the past 2 years, which, the numbers show that he's really not. Just like Gavin Newsom claiming, acting like he's more neutral just to try to get people on the side because the left has gone too extreme. The left has gone too far. But they're still a part of that, pretend as if they're not. So I ain't falling for it. But the problem is, the next person that's coming in is 1,000 times worse than anybody else.
I'm going to play him right now since you brought him up.
Announced he won't be running for re-election. 4 years ago, he ran on a promise to working-class New Yorkers to deliver both safety and justice, to bring the voices of the outer boroughs into City Hall. Instead, he raised their rents, slowed their buses, and cut funding for their schools, libraries, and childcare. A city that was already hard has become nearly impossible for those who call it home. But a new day is coming. Over the past year, tens of thousands of you have built the biggest grassroots campaign our city has ever seen. You have knocked on millions of doors, all to make the city affordable. In just over 5 weeks, we will turn the page on the politics of big money and small ideas and deliver a government every New Yorker can be proud of. And to Andrew Cuomo, you got your wish. You wanted Trump and your billionaire friends to help you clear the field. But don't forget, you wanted me as your opponent in the primary too. And we beat you by 13 points. Looking forward to doing it again on November 4th. Hope you're well.
Doc, Republicans called this guy a socialist, a communist. How do you feel about him? Slim said he coming.
They all in the same boat. They all taking money from people that they either made backdoor promises. Republicans, Democrats, socialists. They done made promises to somebody to write it. That's why the other guy dropped out. He probably done promised them, and then he came through the last time he got through. So they was like, yo, I don't know if I could do this for you again, bro. They all selling their allegiance, like, because you need a certain amount of money to even run these campaigns. So everybody's funding you based on the fact that they believe that you're going to help push their ideology, their cause, their agenda, whatever it is they have that they want to put in place. So he's no different from anybody else. The question I want a lot of people to know is when you vote for these people, it's got to be, at least the agenda they're going for going to be best for me, best for my community, best for what I got going on. And then that's kind of how I go about who I pick.
Ken, how do you feel about a New York City mayoral race?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, it don't matter. Will it address the class issue? Right? Will it address the class issue? That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter who the face is. Will it address the class issue? If it doesn't address the class issue, then it's still upper class 1% shit politics. It's just a different face.
Right. Which sure. I agree with that, because I mean, first of all, when they say Donald Trump, your billionaire friends, bro, out of the top 25 billionaires in the country, only one of them actually supported Donald Trump. Every other billionaire, other than Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, fund and help and support the Democrat Party. 8 out of 10 wealthiest counties with the most money support the Democrat candidate. So they kill me with this pushing this agenda. He is nothing but just Republicans do the same thing, Democrats do the same thing, and I think I'm about to be out of this whole political thing. I still like Trump because it seems like he's outside of all that. Even though he does receive money, but he's just like Bernie Sanders. I don't think Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders can be controlled to the fullest extent. But most of the other politicians